Hi gang, I thought make a quick video. A couple students had asked real quick on the journal idea and some of the class notes about what we're doing. So real quick, I just made like I was making a first entry into my journal. And you'll notice that I'm using Word and I like to use my Zotero Library. So just reading over the first chapter, and I'm using I think it's the 14th edition E of the Management Information Systems and IT Organizations book by Loudon, which is a terrific book. I always tell you guys to buy edition back. I don't ask you to buy the new ones because they're so expensive. You can get them used or at any time. Pick it up to the library by interlibrary loan for free and check out the books, read your chapter, return them, or make some copies if you need to for notes. When you're reading over a lot of these chapters, I really want you to just think about the keywords like information systems, or I picked out a couple. Here was a technical approach to information systems. Three types of management. They said social, managerial, organization, assets. So when you're thinking about this, I want you to just kind of make it for yourself so that you can reuse this information in papers you're going to write the rest of your career here at the university, and of course in your capstone, and hopefully in your master's program when you start that. You can keep continuing this on. And I got this really simply, and I'll just drop here a space, and I took a quick screenshot of a couple of the pieces just to throw them in. My desktop's a little messy. That's because I'm doing 400 different things. But if we just look at the book itself, and I'll pop down another one real quick just so you guys see the idea of where I get them from. Again, in this book, of course it went sideways, but hey, that's life. Um, and I just took a quick shot of the page with my iPhone. If you look at this, you can see a boldface right here. So in my opinion, this is some information that's going to be very important. So you might want to look at it to understand, and that's what I blew that boldface up here, a technical approach. So in my books, when I'm writing, I always do kind of a note-taking system where I'll block out a term that I want to use, and then I'll underline the information in the book, and I might even just do an equals mark so I have a shorthand right next to it to understand in one word, two words, what the information is. Here you can see that I did in this, like equals math of success, blah, blah, blah. That's my little short-term note. And you can see how I did this here as well. Very important. I'll put a slash, but this is my own system. And you can see how I put framework of analysis, and that's why I brought this up. So I think that's really important. So in my journal, I came back to this and I put in there, well, what are the frameworks for analysis? What are the assets that this author thought was really good in this book? And you can quickly see I just kind of outlined it. Information system. The other keyword we saw there was a technical approach to information systems, and I boldface it. And then I'll put right away APA style is just the author's name, the year, and then I'll write what it is. And then I'll direct quote something from inside of it, and I'll add the page number at the end. Very simple. Move on. And you can do this as you're reading. This takes seconds to do. You don't have to do everything. Another trick too is when you're doing this, and you'll see here I have my Zotero Library open. I'm a big fan of this. You can use this anywhere. And you can see every time I'm doing something, I brought back up one of my libraries itself, internal from all the courses I used to take. You can see Dr. Drouse's, Dr. Jabro's. You can see a history of my learning a lot of time in courses I take. I put it with the professor's name, and I will just, continuously every time of an asset that I'm reading for them and writing with, I take a Zotero grab of it and I keep it in my library. And this is just a great way to catalog anything you're doing overall. And if you want, once you have it in your library, simply pull it up here and you can make notes in this. And I can say in here, I can add a note quickly if I want to. I want to keep it with me anytime, anywhere. And this is my own personal preference on what I like to do. I can do something. It's something really important I want to remember forever. I'll just do that, and that note will stick, and I can access this anywhere in any classroom at any time because it's in my digital library through Zotero. It's a free program. Strongly suggest you guys get one and set it up. But what is really cool when you're doing this and you're writing this, instead of having to write all this 20 times over, once you have it in the system, if you're writing in Word and you put the tag in with this, you can just go into your asset, find the asset you're using like this one, click on it, and if you have the page number, you can save the page number too and put it there. But just for now, I'm just doing this, and it'll pop right up the actual correct citation of what you should do. APA style. This is for the end of the sentence, but I'll just erase this. I just did this quick. So now I have a correct citation of exactly how the book should be addressed. And since I know that, you can go back up, and I'll just copy it, paste it in where I was writing real quick for you guys, just a note on how to do this, and save it. At the end of this, which is so cool, I always do at the end of all my chapters, I'll write a bib. So you think, okay, gosh, I got to write out all these resources I used. Well, no, actually, you just type in add bibliography, wait a few seconds, boom, Zotero does it for you. And it's as simple as that. So I strongly suggest you guys use Word to do this, make your life easier and less complicated. Once you're done reading the chapters, the thing that I'm really going to look at is, what does this mean to you? I want you to look back at this, maybe one of the case studies in the book or something that's interesting or a term, and I want you to simply write chapter reflection. And I want you to talk about something in there that you learned and how you can apply it or what it means to you. And in this case, I talked about how information systems were utilized in a case study and did a little bit more detailed research to understand what Rich Carlton does and how they utilize their information systems to best capture information and data for their clients. So I did a little quick synopsis. You can see how short this is. This isn't something that's going to take hours. I did all this probably within 10 minutes of talking to you guys. Now, of course, you'll have a couple more of these notes that you want to have in your system overall for what you like to remember in your chapter. I know a lot of this material, so I don't have to have it. I also have it in another journal that I do myself, and I've kept all these years. You saw my Zotero Library, so you can imagine how rich my journal and all my information is. And the more we do this, and the more we keep, this is our own personal piece. It goes with us everywhere. So every time I'm writing, I don't have to go to the library hundreds of times. I can come right back to my own library, and I remember, okay, I'm writing a book on human-computer interaction. These are all the resources I'm already grabbing for my first chapter, and you can see a lot of them are very rich. You can see different pieces I'm writing for a paper for our dean. You can see all the journal articles I've read this past week, actually. So the library is what you do, and everything you do in your resources, and nobody can really take it, and it's digital, so I strongly suggest you guys utilize that. A little bit more information, just on the classroom. Don't overthink this too much. Like looking at week 1, a lot of times I'm going to have a challenge for you. I want to understand, if you're reading this information, understanding information, that you can apply it. And you can use this information, if you do this correctly, as, you got it, your reflection. So I'm kind of letting you guys cheat there, so it's not like you're doing double work. Do the assignment, you already have your reflection done. I asked you guys a question in this, and I'm asking you in a short answer to just tell me what it means. And if you look at it, I'm bringing up a topic, the IS system, what does it mean? And I'm asking you guys to define it. Give it a case. Short paper. We don't have to have an incredible amount of material done. This is just simply something to show me that you can answer the question. You'll notice this symbol here is Dropbox. A lot of times I will ask you guys for just a simple Dropbox. I want to see what you know, and I want you to be able to utilize it. Other times and occasions you will see throughout this semester the idea, and I'll show you here, for discussion. You'll see this little 2 bubble icon. When you see that, you'll have to create a new post. I'll have a similar type of idea, a little challenge for you to think about and respond to, but it will be in a discussion post. So you'll be able to create a new post and post it up and see everybody else's thoughts once you've done one, not before then. We'll do this a couple times this semester. not often, because it takes a lot more work. And I want you to focus on your learning and creating your journal and working to get information that's expressively needed for you. But when you do this, make sure you check it out and respond to somebody else's, because at that point you're able to see everybody else's, so there's no cheating or stealing of anyone else's work, so we don't have that type of idea going on. And say, hey, this is a really great idea. I really was interested in how you applied the ideas of tracking RFID chips in with Home Depot's actual inventory. I liked how you looked how Zappos is. Oh, wait, I can't tell you that. That's going to be an information system challenge you have coming up. Well, gang, don't overthink too much. We're already coming into week 2. Week 3 will be coming up. But all these little challenges are Dropbox short answer papers. You'll see I always provide some type of lecture from myself and something that I find that's really interesting to bring into it. This week I have a lecture here on the chapters as well. And most of this information you can utilize too. If you find something interesting that I bring up on my personal views, feel free to bring that into your reflections. Remember, this is about a learning activity and journey for yourself. I'm looking to understand, and you may even want to, inside of your reflection, bold out for me. Make it easy for me, because I'll be more interested, and I'll go, oh, okay, here's your spot. I always say systems, in my opinion, because at this point, this is where you can say something. And I want you to say, what does this mean? What does all this stuff mean? Well, gang, have a great night. I appreciate everybody, and I'm looking forward to your awesome answers, and we'll talk soon.